my fragrance collection. I own about 1,000 fragrances. The worth of this collection is about $50,000.
What's going on, everybody? Finally, I am about to do my women's top 10 fragrance reviews for 2021. As y'all know, my top 10 changes up a lot, especially with men fragrances, but with women fragrances, I do call audible sometimes, and I called an audible right before I filmed this. So let's not waste time. I'm gonna get right into it. My top 10 women's fragrances 2021. Number 10. Burberry Her Blossom. Burberry Her Blossom. And as I told y'all before, I keep my fragrances in their boxes. Burberry Her. You know what? It's too much light going on right here. Yeah, that's a little better. So maybe you can see the bottle better. Burberry Her Blossom. This just came out, and before I had Burberry Her as number 10. But Burberry Her, the original Burberry Her, as most people know, smells almost exactly like Baccarat. And there's so many other fragrances that smell like the Baccarat until it just seemed redundant to keep putting fragrances that smell like Baccarat in these top 10s. So this was perfect because the Burberry Blossom defined itself. It's floral, it's a little more floral, it's still sweet, very sexy, and I actually think I like this more because it does not smell just like Baccarat. You can say it's in that same DNA, but it's not like the first one. The first one is almost spot on to Baccarat. So Burberry Blossom, number 10. Burberry Her Blossom, number 10. Number 9. See, I take them out of the packaging. You see, a lot of y'all probably don't know what that is, but it comes from the house of Valentino. Y'all know I love Valentino fragrances. I have yet to smell one that I could say was bad. It might be some that I like more than others, but I can't really say I smelled a Valentino that was horrible. But this from the house of Valentino is called Voz Viva. Voz Viva. It's kind of hard to find right now. It's not as readily available as it used to be. But man, this fragrance smells amazing. It's sexy. And as you will learn, I like sweet fragrances. So this is no different than the rest. It's definitely got a sweetness to it. It opens with a little citrus, but it is very nice, very sexy. And don't get it twisted. Just because it's number 9 doesn't mean it's not a great fragrance. I have to remind people of that because I want the number 1. I want the number 1. No, you need the whole top 10. This fragrance is amazing, very sexy. Let me tell you how nice this fragrance is. I thought I might have had My receipt laying around. I guess I put it up somewhere. But this fragrance is so good because y'all know I'm a retailer, so I have access to pretty much everything. But I haven't been able to get that in a very long time. So I bought that fragrance just for this review. I could have just knocked it out. But I'm not knocking anything out of my top 10, even if it's hard to find right now. Because these top 10s do help me sell fragrances, but these are really my top 10. This is how I feel at the moment, which is my top 10. So actually I went to Sephora, which is a violation. No, I go to places like that. Sometimes I can't get everything. Sometimes my supplier is a little slow getting certain things, and sometimes he has it and just runs out because we're selling more units than the actual store. If the store gets 20 bottles of a fragrance, they're selling it way more than what we're selling it for. So we gonna move units faster. So I'm gonna sell more units than Sephora. Not every Sephora in the world, but just say you take one Sephora, I promise I'm selling more units than them for each fragrance. That don't mean I'm richer than them. I'm just saying selling at a higher pace because it's at a cheaper price. But anyway, y'all don't need to know all my financial business. We gonna move on to number 8. Number 8. Now this was a tough one. Number 8 started off, and we're gonna give it honorable mention because it definitely deserves to be mentioned in this top 10. But this is Jimmy Choo Fever. Jimmy Choo Fever. And everybody who knows me, I have sold so many of these to people, and I have yet to have a person to say they didn't absolutely love it. Jimmy Choo Fever has been one of my favorites for a while now. It's another sweet one. When you say mature, that doesn't always mean old, but I can see it being mature. Another sweet one, like I said, but it's something real sexy about it. It lasts. Longevity is good on it. I mean, it's really nice, but dun, 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 from the house of Jimmy Choo. And since I can only have, this is my own personal rule, I can only have one fragrance from a fragrance house in my top 10. So Jimmy Choo Fever just got the boot. The new number 8 on my top 10 is Jimmy Choo I Want Choo. And the name is creative, but that's not the only reason. This right here almost didn't make it. When I first sprayed it, I thought it might have been a little bit too mature. I want something that people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s is universal. Like anybody can smell it and everything. I mean, everybody will love it. So what I'm showing you now, every fragrance that I'm showing you, it don't matter what age you are, you're gonna love these fragrances. But Jimmy Choo with You, it's heavy vanilla. So it's definitely for my vanilla lovers. And it's definitely sweet. It's peachy. It got this peach note in it, so it's like a peach vanilla. It's something different that I've never smelled in a fragrance. It may smell familiar to something, but it's not, you're not gonna say this smells like. But it's very sexy, fruity, sweet, absolutely love it. Deserves to be at number 8, Jimmy Choo. I Want Choo. I Want Choo. That's pretty creative. But That's definitely a banger any age. Now, number 7. This comes from the house of Carolina Herrera. Carolina Herrera has yet to let me down. I've smelled some things that were just okay from that house, but for the most part, especially with this Good Girl line, I haven't smelled a bad Good Girl at all. Every Good Girl that I've smelled has smelled just totally excellent. And it's a new one came out. It's a couple new ones. It's a Glorious Gold. It's a Good Girl Glorious Gold, a Good Girl Supreme. And those smell really good too. But man, Good Girl Fantastic Pink. This thing is fire. And so far, this is my favorite one. Now, this kind of weird, but it's like a sexy coffee. It's like a sexy, like you can smell the coffee, but whatever they did to it, I don't memorize notes. There's no way I can memorize. I don't want to read off a card the notes. I can just describe in my own mind how something smells. And this is like the sexiest cup of coffee you ever want to smell. Like, I don't know no other way to explain it, man. If you're gonna get a Good Girl and you start with this one, I know that's making a lot of noise in the microphone, but if you get a Good Girl, let me continue to hold it while I talk about it. If you get a Good Girl and you start off with this one, it's gonna make you not want to try the other ones. Listen, you need them all. All of them smell really good, but this is the best one. You starting at the upper echelon when you get this. It's better than original, and it's better than any other flankers. This is fire. The house of Carolina Herrera, Good Girl. Yes, Lord. And it's a must to have something from Yves Saint Laurent. It's a must. Like, that's another fragrance house that really don't make too many mistakes. I smelled a few things I wasn't too crazy about, but for the most part, they do pretty good. But this one here, YSL Libra. YSL Libra, and you see the bottle is halfway empty. Not me, I have worn this. I have worn this because not this much. This was a gift, but I tried it on, and it actually got compliments. But the only reason I tried this on, and that doesn't mean it's masculine, it's Orange Blossom Supreme. It's the Orange Blossom is very prominent, but it smells different. Even though a lot of fragrances have Orange Blossom in it, it's not as prominent as it is in this one. And maybe that's why a man can get by with wearing it. But yeah, coming in at number 7, YSL Libra, it smells so good. And if your woman has it, try it one day and put it on, cause it's, I made a post on Facebook one time and asked guys, have y'all ever worn a female fragrance? Or what female fragrance wouldn't you be ashamed of wearing? And it was the Libra. Every guy was saying, I love it, I love it, I love it. But that doesn't mean it's not sexy for a woman. You know, it's just one of those weird things, man. And it's not unisex. This is a woman's fragrance. But man, it smells good on a woman. And I think it smelled good on me the one time that I wore it. But if I want to wear it again, don't judge me. All right. We moving right along. This is going to be one of the quickest top 10s. I got to get my my interactions and stuff going, or whatever they call it, man. I don't need y'all to snooze out because I'm just rambling on. Engagements, yeah, that's what it's called. Engage. I need my engagements up. If I keep doing these 30-40 minute videos, y'all won't engage. But coming in at number 6, I have to make sure I'm doing these numbers right because I have been known to mess up. And I think I'm messing up. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, so Libra was number 6. So I don't know if I said that. I don't know if I did it right, but I'm gonna do it again. Coming in at number 6, YSL Libra. I don't know if I said 7 before, but it's actually number 6. And math was my best course, believe it or not. So coming in at number 5, we moving right along. Another favorite of mine, La Vista Belle. La Vista Belle. Isn't that bottle just so big and beautiful and just sexy? Just mwah. La Vista Belle. Oh my God. I thought this fragrance, and I'm putting these bottles back in the box too quick before I talk about them. I thought this fragrance, when I first smelled it, was amazing. But then I was like, man, it might be too mature for some people. Because everybody who bought it from me are usually 40 plus. So I'm like, but man, this smells so good. This is one of them things where if your mama wears this, she thinks she's sexy, and she might just be. This has got to be a confident booster. It smells rich, it smells sexy, it smells like money. So anybody want to smell like money and smell sexy at the same time, this is the one you wear, La Vista Belle. And I don't care if somebody say, oh, that's kind of mature. Nah, this is sexy. This is sexy. So watch your mama, watch your grandma. Nah, it really ain't meant for them. A lot of young people wear this too. It's just a lot of my older customers have bought this, and that made me think it was mature. But then when I smelled it, because I was selling it and not even smelling it, when I smelled it, I was like, whoa, I see why they ordering it. Why the young people not buying this as much as, because it don't smell old. It is sexy, man. So young people, tap on in, man. You don't have to be 40 plus to buy this. It is super, super sexy. It is mature, but it's not old. I keep telling people mature don't necessarily mean old. So coming in at number 5. Coming in at number 5, La Vista Belle. From the house of Lancome. I gotta mention the houses, but this is a pretty popular fragrance. So when I say La Vista Belle, y'all know that's Lancome. Lancome has some really great fragrances. So when you hear La Vista Belle, you already know, but I still have to say from the house of Lancome. All right. That wastes a lot of time putting things back in the box too. I need to stop that. All right. Now we're going upper echelon. We're going upper echelon now with the number 4 scent. Bun number 9. Yeah, I said it. Bun number 9. Spring Fling. Look, it comes with the big flower in there, and it might take a little work to get this bottle out. So y'all know how I do. Everything in the box, everything in the box. my men's fragrances too. All right, there we go. Bun number 9, coming in at number 4, Bun number 9 Spring Fling. And I can put the flower up here when I do my presentation. I'll put the flower on top of there. See if I can get it to stay. Probably not. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to look. Bun number 9 Spring Fling. This is a fruity, floral masterpiece. And it's not that spring scent. Like when people say spring, y'all think citrus. You think like Dolce & Gabbana light blue and all that. That's not this. This thing is fruity, but it's fresh and it's floral and it fits for the spring. But man, this thing is sexy. I looked online, I seen a couple bad reviews for it, and I'm like, these people must be out of their mind. I don't know what their fragrance palette is like, but the few people that said they didn't like it, if this is making my top 4, and Jimmy Choo's and Carolina Herrera's and Burberry's is further down than this, and they had something bad to say about Spring Fling, this is my favorite women's fragrance from Bun number 9, from the house of Bun number 9. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are down to our top 3. If you get anything in this top 3, you are getting the best of the best. And this is definitely one of my favorite fragrances. This is a sweet, sexy piece of candy right here. Coming in at number 3, Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal. Yeah, we got on about the same color. We kind of matching. But coming in at number 3, Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal. You see the legs in the air? Yeah, that's for a reason. This may be, let me hold it for a little while because I got a habit of putting the bottles up too early. This right here is fruity, but it's more so super duper sweet. This may be the sweetest fragrance that I've smelled for women. It has peach, blood orange. Those are some of the notes to give it that citrusy, fruity feel. But this thing has honey, it has licorice, it has caramel. It literally smells like the sexiest piece of candy you can ever smell. I have smelled some really sweet fragrances, but this takes the cake. Y'all think Baccarat is sweet? This here is sweeter than Baccarat. This smells so good though. So it's not like when you think sweet, a lot of young people like sweet, so you probably like, oh, that's something for the young people. Listen, this is for everybody. This is sexy. I really love this fragrance, man. The number 1 is just so upper echelon, but this really is close. This probably may work his way up the ladder some more later down the line, but it's hard to touch this one. I believe this is going to remain at least in the top 3 for a while, but I haven't smelled everything. I might change my top 10 up next week, but my top 3, those are tough choices, and this right here is really hard to get right now. Jean Paul Gaultier really doesn't fail. They have another one called La Belle, and it's really good too, and I considered it for the top 10, and it probably should be in the top 10, but like I told you before, I only put one fragrance from each fragrance house in my top 10, so Scandal definitely deserves this number 3 spot. It is one sexy piece of candy. That's the best I can say, man. This thing smells so good. Jean Paul Gaultier Scandal, man. This, you get nasty with this. I mean, just the top alone tells you when you wear this, that's what's gonna happen later, for sure. Ooh, we getting to the nitty gritty now, baby. Oh, and I since I'm doing chants and y'all know it comes in a pink box and all that, I have to mention, since I'm doing my fragrance review, for the women fragrances, I decided to wear my pink Tommy shirt. I have never worn it before, so this is the best occasion to wear it. But don't think every time I do a women's fragrance review that I'm gonna wear a pink shirt. I'm confident in my manhood, but I don't wear pink too often, but it's all good. So getting right along, you already seen me swirl it around. Number two, and this was kind of like the creative vintage, man. This was a hard choice between number one and number two, but something came along and knocked it out the box. Chanel Chance. Coming in at number two from the house of Chanel Chance. And this is the EDP. This is the EDP. This is the Eau de Parfum. So nothing wrong with the toilette. The toilette smells just fine. The parfum is just a little bit more potent, and man, the sillage, they can smell it in a room after you leave and all that, and that's really means something. You see this bottle is almost empty too. This was a gift. I don't wear this one. This is too feminine to wear. But I looked up the notes and it is patchouli. It's patchouli, it's pineapple, and there's some other things that, you know, might make it great, but there's so many things with patchouli and pineapple. But this right here, just, they created something so sexy. Like, this will always be, that's why your grandma, your mama, and you wear this. This is something that's universal. It smells rich, it smells sexy. It's not gonna be anybody. I went and looked at reviews for this too, just to see if I'm crazy, if other people feel the way I feel. I seen no bad reviews. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere. But if you give this a bad review, more than likely you must have an allergy to something in here, because there's no way you don't like Chanel Chance. This is one of the best fragrances you can possibly buy. And yeah, it's a little over $100, but all fragrances right now are over $100 for the most part. So if you're gonna spend the money, if you're gonna spend over $130, or you looking to spend about that much, make sure this is in your collection. It's a must. This is so sexy. And I don't really have to talk about this much because y'all know Chanel. Y'all know how Chanel do. Now, the number fives, and I'm not crazy about all that. But when it comes to the chances, there's several different Chanel chances, but I still like the original the best, the EDP. The EDP version, a little better. So coming in at number two, Chanel Chance, the EDP. Dun, 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 dun. Introducing my number one women's fragrance. This is the absolute best fragrance in the world right now. Something may come along and knock it out the box, but as of right now, this is the best fragrance I have smelled, and I have smelled some really expensive things and some really good things. Introducing to some of y'all already know. Some of y'all already saying the name before I'm even calling it out, because I've been screaming about it for a year. And it's been so hard to get, but it motivated this top 10, because once it came back in stock, it's hard to find everywhere because it's selling out. Came out last year. Coming in at number 1, Perfect by the House of Marc Jacobs. When I tell you this right here, this is the sexiest fragrance. It smells rich, it smells sexy. It's fruity. Opens up with green notes. You can smell the fruitiness. Oh, this haven't even been sprayed. I can smell it. Oh God, this smells so good. Listen, this is one of those things my customers want just by how hyped I am, because they know I really love fragrances. So if I'm hyping it up, you know, I'm trying to make sure everything, yeah. So if I'm hyping it up, they know that is good, because I don't hype nothing up that's not good. I have actually told people high dollar fragrances that wasn't good that I could have made a good piece of money off of. This one right here, this smells like a sexy fruit bowl while we at a picnic in the rainforest. Oh man, with little fruity floral raindrops falling all over our bodies. I don't know, I be coming up with some crazy stuff. But just this bottle alone, isn't this bottle beautiful though? Marc Jacobs Perfect is the best. Marc Jacobs, the whole fragrance house, really don't disappoint. The daisies are amazing. They have a few, Marc Jacobs, really they have perfected it for women. Now I'm gonna be honest, they missed the mark for men, and maybe after they missed that mark, they stopped making men fragrances, because the man fragrance, I just smelled it. It was very hard to find, and I was disappointed. So I guess they said, we're just gonna focus on the women. And I think that's why probably all of Marc Jacobs women's fragrances smell really good. Maybe they tapped out with the men fragrances and put this masterpiece together along with a lot of others. Listen to me right now. If you see this anywhere, even if you don't get it from me, because it's hard to get, so you might not can get it from me. So if you have to order this from Australia, if you have to order this from England, Africa, whatever you have to do, your girl, your wife, your girlfriend, your fiance, whatever she is to you, buy it if she won't buy it for herself. And if you're not gonna wait on somebody to buy it for you, you go spend the money that it takes. My price is definitely cheaper than retail, but even if you can't get it to me, I won't be mad at you, because this is a must-have. This is the absolute best women's fragrance, period. Sexy. I wish somebody was here so I could spray it on them right now. I'm not gonna spray this on myself, because I'm not gonna be smelling on myself all night. And then I'm a man, so it'll smell stronger on me. So it'll probably really be going up my nose, and I have dreams, and it'd be a lot. It'll probably be a bit much, so I wouldn't do that. But I just take a couple more smells. Man, listen, I'm not exaggerating, this masterpiece of a fragrance right here. I just love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Marc Jacobs, perfect. #1. If you disagree with me, hit me up, let me know. I know you smell some really good fragrances. Do not tell me this is not #1 until you smell it. Until you smell it. I don't care what you bring, the Baccarat, bring Mason Francis, Kirk John, bring the whole line. It's not messing with this. Bring those Creeds, bring those Bun No. 9s, bring Jimmy Choo, Gucci, Versace, bring whatever you want to bring. Do not tell me this is not #1 until you smell it. When you smell it, you're gonna say, yeah, he's right. The best woman's fragrance, period.
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 Dang, was that like a man law violation to say period that many times?
Period.
But anyway, this has been my top 10 women's fragrance for 2021. I said I was gonna make it quick. I don't know how long this video has actually been, but it's probably just as long as the others because I love fragrances and I will ramble. So if I don't get but 100 views, that's just fine with me because hopefully most of those 100 are fragrance lovers like me. And that would thrill me more than a subscriber, a like, or a comment. But if you don't mind, could you please like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. But even if you don't, thank you for tuning in. All my fragrance lovers, I hope y'all love this just as much as me. And if you're a beginner, hit me up. We'll talk fragrance. I love it. All right, y'all have a good one.